you so much for joining us. I'm your host, Paige Ryans, and today we are talking about the 24th Annual Garden State Film Festival. The festival will return from March 26th through March 29th to Asbury Park in Cranford, New Jersey, with over 200 films from various countries, screening at 9 different venues all throughout Asbury Park and Cranford. Tickets are available at gsff.org/tickets, and there will also be tickets available at the door while supplies last. And now let's meet today's filmmaker. I am here with Catherine Kavari. I'm here to talk about her film, Tub. Welcome, Catherine. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you, Paige.
Yes, thank you for being here. Very excited to talk about your film. I know I gave you a little bit of a brief introduction, but if you wanted to just introduce yourself and your role with the film, and then we'll jump into talking about what the film's about.
Sure. I'm Catherine Kavari. I am the writer. This is my directorial debut, and I also play the lead in the film, one of the leads.
Very nice, very nice. Well, congrats on your directorial debut.
Thank you.
um, and can you just tell us a little bit about what Tub is about?
Sure. Tub is about a woman who is a caretaker for her abusive mom. And she's also sort of trapped in this life, or she feels like she's trapped in this life, and that she has no real agency in how her life has turned out or how it will turn out. And so it's really her grappling with the idea of fate and whether or not it's something that she can influence. And in all of this, there is a leaky tub in the house that she is trying to get fixed because it's in a precarious position, and she's concerned about it. So that's the gist of the film.
Yeah. Great, great. And what was your inspiration for writing this film?
um I had always that there was a leaky tub in my parents' house, and it but like the outline of it was just like perfectly positioned above their couch.
Mhm.
And there was a time where my father had cancer, and he had just got diagnosed. And I remember just having like these really sort of dark thoughts about um, wanting to sit under this tub and kind of put myself out of the misery of dealing with my father's illness. Um, and I remember having that thought and being like, "Oh, that there's something cinematic about that idea," and um, and I kind of put it away and didn't think about it for a while, and then it kind of just came to me later on, like this relationship between the mother and daughter was loosely based on the relationship between my aunt and my grandmother, who had a very um, strange and difficult history. And especially my aunt, I always felt really bad for her
Mhm.
because she was very resigned to her fate. And so in some ways this is like a rewriting of her life and her history, had she sort of taken the reins of her own life into her own hands.
Very nice. Very nice. I seem it sounds like you have like different themes. You had different themes to work with throughout, um, and you we see them present in the film. How what was that process like for you? Like that filming process, and also just kind of weaving in these themes throughout the film. Like, what was your process of going about that as kind of both the writer and starring in the film? What did that look like for you?
um I guess it was a bit of a challenge to have to do to play, to be wearing these multiple hats, especially like directing and being in it on a very, very tight budget with a very small window of time where we actually could shoot. So that part was challenging. But in terms of the themes, I think it was pretty clear for myself on how I felt about those themes um, of fate and free will, because I had seen firsthand how someone's life can play out if they believe they don't have any free will and that they are sort of stuck in the life that they lead. But it's also hard to break out of that if you've never been shown that there's another way. And so those kinds of ideas were always like percolating in my head, both as the writer director and as the actor, because I also like really my the inspiration for the the daughter again came from my aunt, and I was very clear on who she was because I also grew up with her. And I think I always felt sad for her. And so there were times for both how I felt towards her and my grandmother, um, where I just really wanted to give her a better future than what she had in real life.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you did a really great job kind of like putting that into words. I think the dialogue in the film is like really great and like really strong. And it definitely sends like a message that I think will reach viewers that may be able to relate to it, may not, but they'll be able to kind of still see that message. I feel like there's always, when you're watching film or, you know, admiring any piece of art, there's always something that you could take away, whether in the moment you can't directly relate to it, like there's some aspect of it that, you know, you will be able to relate to. So I think you did a really great job with the dialogue
Thank you.
and conveying that message throughout the film.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What would you say was your favorite part of this?
My favorite part of the film was I hired my mom to play my mom, and working with my mom was really wonderful because she's never acted before. It took a lot of convincing. There was a lot of back and forth. You know, originally I was trying to get an actor to play this, and I couldn't find anyone who spoke this particular dialect. It was very hard. And so I did audition a couple of people that were good, but they didn't have permission to work in the States. And it was a really big challenge. And so it was like I was sort of forced into this corner of finding someone who I know knew this character really well and could also speak that dialect, not perfectly, but well enough.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think working with my mom was a unique once in a lifetime experience. I know that that's going to come again because, again, she's not an actor, and I don't know that she loved doing it. I mean, I think she found it interesting and entertaining, but she was definitely stressed out the whole time.
Yeah.
So that was still
moment.
like the most rewarding part.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a big moment for her. It's her acting debut. So I can
Yeah, it is her acting debut, and I was really proud of her. I was like, oh, she actually did pretty well considering she's never been trained. And even like memorizing the lines was definitely hard for her, and for her to have been able to memorize so much was, she took it very seriously. She came over and we rehearsed for like a week before we started shooting, and she was very focused. I'd never seen her like that before, so it was just a very unique experience. It was a unique interaction between me and my mom that we'd never experienced each other like that before.
Very nice. I feel like that's kind of it's a different connection, a different experience for both of you, which is rewarding. It's a mixture of rewarding and also just like learning different things about yourself. Like I feel like she kind of probably learned like, wow, I'm more good at this than I think, going into this. So
I feel like she didn't realize how good she was until she saw the footage, and then like she also had never seen the way like a set works. So I think she was just also surprised by like how many people are on set at any given time, how much goes into it, and she was sort of just sitting there watching it all. And when you don't shoot in sequence usually, I mean, we certainly didn't, and so I think she had seen everything feel very disjointed, and then when she saw the final product, she was like, oh, there's a beginning, middle, and end. And I was like, yep, that's what we aim for.
Yeah She kind of sees the bits and pieces of it first, and then you fall into place.
All come together.
Yeah. I don't know, she sounds like she might have a career in production or acting.
That's what I told her. I was like, you have a future in this if you decide to retire from being a teacher and do something else.
Yeah. Hey, you never know. You never know. And was there anything, would you say that there were any challenges that you encountered during this film, and whether in the production process or the pre-production, like script writing or anything like that, post-production?
Yeah, I mean, I think the script writing was the easiest part. I think after that, it was kind of everything was hard. I mean, especially like it was self funded and it was not a big budget. And so accomplishing something like that in a location that I actually had to rent out, like I didn't find a free location. And so, like, the budgeting part of it was very, very challenging. I would have liked to have had 3 days to shoot this. That would have made my life a lot easier. I only had 2 days. So there were moments that like we just had to rush through certain things, which I would not have liked. Definitely needed more money. So that was really tough. And there, like I learned a lot. I mean, it is my directorial debut, and so it was my first time doing this on my own. And there was a lot that I learned that I would do differently next time. Um, but it was also extremely rewarding because I had never done anything. I've always written and started things, but I've never directed. And watching something, creating something from scratch and then having a final product. There was something very rewarding about that.
Yeah.
So that was fantastic. But I would like more money next time.
Yeah, definitely. There's always a plus to that. So
Yeah.
it's always a load lifted when you have more. But I think all things considered, and with the length of time that you were able to do it, and I think you produced a really great project. So yeah, should be very proud. Oh, there we go. Can you hear us? Can you hear us, Catherine? Sure, she can hear us. Are you able to hear us, Catherine? No.
Oh no, oh no.
Let's see. Testing. I don't know if she can hear me. Catherine, you can't hear me, right? Okay. Sorry for everyone watching. We'll get right back on that. All right. Well, I guess we'll just jump to a quick closing. So, thank you everyone for watching. Please, you can check out Catherine's film Tub screening on Sunday, March 29th, 2026. It'll be at the Asbury Block TA 16 between 3 p.m. and 4:45 p.m. And again, the Garden State Film Festival will run from March 26th through March 29th. 200 films screening across 9 different venues in Asbury Park in Cranford, New Jersey. And yes, thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you at the festival. All right, have a good one.